Welcome back into another episode of Orlando City Fan TV. Today, we have a new guest for you. We are excited to bring in the one, the only Enzo Fernandez, coming in from London, just flying in. He's injured right now, couldn't play in the match tonight, but he is here to join us instead. Welcome in, Enzo.
Why don't you sit his sorry ass next to you?
Who pissed in your Cheerios?
Pussy-o.
Bro, you're gonna
Bitch.
you're gonna let's be real here. Enzo Fernandez was in the studio, he'd be sat on that couch.
I'd be happy with that.
If you were Enzo and you weren't here,
I am Enzo.
Okay. With his
could have been Caesar.
Orlando City
With same
tattoo
cut.
on his
I don't have a mole.
Yeah, he could be Caesar with that cut in the Orlando City kit though, low key.
Yeah, but what's going on with the Spanish? Either way, Caesar or Enzo. What happened?
Me no speaking
English.
Espanol.
Well,
Buenos dias.
Journalism, baby.
8:48 p.m.
Muy bien. Muy bien. Y tú.
Just having a conversation with yourself over here.
See?
I'm glad.
Yeah.
Es tu comido
Puta
favorita?
madre. Pussy-o.
Es tu favorito comida? Comida
How was your
favorito.
day, Zach?
What's your favorite food?
Mexican.
Yeah.
Couldn't have gone any worse.
Right.
Chipotle top tier.
Nah, I'm thinking more like agave azul
Fair.
class.
All right, Enzo, send us to the outbreak.
Bet online.
BetOnline is your number one source for all your summer sports this season, from MLB, golf, NBA, and NHL playoff stats, where they have all the latest stats, news, and scores available to follow your favorite teams. Get the latest odds and lines, including the latest team matchups, player props, and odds on just about every sport out there. Head to the website today or use your mobile device to get in on the action. BetOnline, where the game starts.
Well, we had our couple minutes of Enzo. He was a little expensive to have here in the studio. Can't afford much more than the couple minutes that we had, so we welcome back Bryce.
Howdy.
Howdy.
That's where all your Patreon money goes to. So shout out to y'all. That was 3 years worth of Patreon, and that was it. So
Hope you enjoyed it.
I feel like you got what you paid for.
Did they?
Yeah, we got Enzo for a whole, 2 to 3 minutes?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah, you could definitely tell the London's rubbing off on him.
Working the Spanish well. He's losing the Spanish actually a little bit,
Yeah,
being in London.
and then just being here in Florida automatically gave him like the American.
That's true.
I was going to say, you could say we also spend money to get Caesar in here at the same time.
You know, he could be.
Get a little Sharpie, draw the little. That's what we should have done.
That's my Halloween costume.
Just get a-
Vile. There's no.
There's nothing wrong with it. It's a feature.
It is.
Dude, I'm going to be able to get so many yellow cards. This is great.
You're gonna
Halloween,
get
I'm
booked for
taking
simulation,
fucking
too.
Kneecaps out.
You're gonna get fined for simulation.
Simulation.
I get it. Simulation? No, simulation.
Simulation.
A simulation is something totally different.
I said simulation.
The second time you did, that time you did.
You're a fucking pussy.
There goes
Enzo's
the
back in town, baby.
We are not even 10 minutes in, and we've already lost the plot.
Wait.
Much like most of you have
Oh. Keep going then.
lost the plot. The plot is to win championships here in Orlando, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So sometimes we need to look a little better to win these championships, don't you think?
Yeah. Take after the Solar Bears and the Magic as of right now.
Damn straight.
I said it in a tweet that I put out. Happy for the 3 points. Glad that we got them. It was a joy to watch the comeback. I guess it was a comeback. And get that last minute winner. I've had a lot of those recently between both clubs. And yeah. So it was fun to get the 3 points, but at some point you got to start playing good football the whole match, or at least 75% of the match, to show that we are at that championship level. We had the little conversation earlier before we started recording. You can have 1 to 2, however many off games where it's not a full and complete performance and get the 3 points.
Mm-hmm.
But at some point, you do have to start putting together performances to show that you are at that championship caliber level to win matches, or else we're going to be stuck mid-table, bottom half of the table for the rest of the season because you don't put a good performance together. You're not gonna score a lot of goals. You'll concede more goals, and obviously at that point, you're not winning matches.
Yep. I mean, that's kind of we were talking about it on the live. It's like, there's certain things that we have to do to get better and be better, and it's create chances, maybe be a little more dynamic in the way we play and not be so one-dimensional, and be better defensively, just period. And these are all things that have kind of been a reoccurring theme over, 3 years now, probably, I would say. The defensively one is a new one.
Mm-hmm.
That's a new wrench in
Unexpected.
there. Yeah. But, there's a lot of things that we've done the exact same for the past couple of years, and it's like, all right, when's the change supposed to happen, you know?
Yeah, you got to be able to adapt. If your tactics work for 3/4 of one season, a full season, then the next season you come out in your first 10 games and they're not working, you then have to adapt in that way. And I think we did see that change from Oscar last season, where we moved to that double pivot look, and then we were one of the best teams, if not the best team in the league. But we're going to have to see that again. Yes, we've had injuries, players haven't been in form, international break, and we did just see, I think, the double pivot with Caesar and Wielder for the
second
time this season, I believe it is. And we got the win, but did it look fantastic? Not really. But we did get the 3 points, so you still have to look at it from that perspective. Hopefully the double pivot comes back and we can work, maybe find something else out in the attacking third. Because if we can stick with that same kind of like the backline double pivot look, Dagerdan goes up, but we just have to be a little bit more dynamic in that attacking third, then I wouldn't be mad. But if it has to be a full change, then that is on the coaching staff to figure that out.
Yeah, I just feel like we did some things wrong, though, just right off the rip with that lineup. Like, if we're going to play the double pivot, then who's the man that needs to start up top?
As of right now, it should be Duncan.
It has to be Duncan. I don't think there's much of a conversation to be had about that. This is the guy that needs to be starting there, especially when it's a sole striker in that type of system, where we're going to try to put balls into the box and win, aerial duels to score, or even just play the ball like we saw in the third goal, the early ball in that he's going to run after, he's going to beat everybody around him, and he's also going to find the back of the net. And then if that's the way we're going to play, then why is Hoffa not on the field?
Who?
Santos,
Rafa
your
Santos.
boy.
I thought you said Hoffa.
That's how you act. That's actually
But we're all not
white.
Brazilian, so.
Fair.
But yeah, why is he not on the field? You know what I mean? Like, you have the coverage now. We're playing the double pivot, so he has the defensive coverage. We saw it all last year where, like we pointed out, Caesar will always run out to that side and help give him that coverage defensively, or Cartagena, depending on how they're rotated. But then we want to go with the more defensive solid guy in Kyle Smith, who he himself didn't have a great game, but it just doesn't make sense to me. You know what I mean? It's like poor Y,
yeah.
like poor K.
Poor
Why?
All right, Enzo. There were decisions made throughout that whole match that were just kind of questionable, and it did start out from the very beginning. So, yeah, the first questions go to the manager at that point because there's no one else making that decision. Did he make the right subs towards the end of the game? Yes.
Did he make the subs he had to?
He did, but they're also like the most obvious subs in the world. And here we are down 2-1 It's like, who else are you going to... The attacking subs are on the bench. Jacqueline, Duncan McGuire, and I'm forgetting the other
Nico
one.
Lodero.
Nico Lodero. Thank you. So out of the three of them, two of them came on. Rafael Santos, I guess you can count as an attacking
minded
yeah,
sub.
but on paper, defender.
It's a like for like.
So, yeah. So you're making the obvious substitutions, and congratulations on doing like making the correct decision, making the right subs. But it's also not like, holy shit, Oscar's a genius. He made this sub in the 73rd minute and totally changed the game. Which, at some point, yeah, you can say that. But
I see
anyone
what you're
with a
trying to
football
do.
brain can make that decision.
Yeah, I was just gonna say. I mean, it's like, ooh, you brought your keys to work today.
Yeah.
You know, like you did a portion of your job, and I'm gonna, like, it's just, it doesn't make sense to me. That whole viewpoint of like, whoa, it's you know, I don't even want to say the word. It's genius by him to
Well, it's not. Yeah.
to do something like this. Like, I don't get the whole narrative. That whole narrative. That's like, so you did your job.
I was going to say, with that being said, you could say he's a genius, but you could also say, why the hell are you not making these subs 10, 15 minutes earlier?
I mean, I'm glad we made him before the 80th minute window. I'll give you that, because we also contend with that on a yearly basis. But yeah, I mean, we were all kind of calling for it. Like, why is DC the first ones to be making subs here? Like, if we want to be the ones to dictate this game and win this game, I mean,
Yeah, I'm just going to go ahead and try to find the minutes on the subs exactly.
I think it was 63.
46 for them. They had two right out of halftime. To be fair, they did have four people on yellows in that first half. I believe, yeah, Jackson Hopkins was one to come off, and he was on a yellow. And then the other three on yellows stayed on. But making two subs right out of halftime, trying to make a change. And then it took 6... Can I do math? No, 26 minutes
Yeah, it's
for us to make the next three subs, which was Duncan, Lodero, Santos on, Kyle Smith, Cartagena, and Ojeda on. And at that point, that was 6 minutes after they scored their second goal.
That's why I was thinking about it. Yes, because it's why are we waiting for them to concede, or why are we waiting for us to concede before we're trying to make attacking minded subs to go win this game?
Mm-hmm.
Like,
Yeah.
why are we not trying to go win this game when it's 1-1?
Were we happy with a point away from home? Is that a
It's-
scenario?
Realistically, how are DC doing this
Mid-table.
year? Mid-table?
Mm-hmm.
I don't think it would have been a horrible result to get a draw away, but, I mean,
It shouldn't be the
the
mentality.
the mentality, the way we finished the season last year, it's almost the same 11, plus couple -1. There's no reason why we shouldn't be able to go out on the road and get 3 points.
If we are this side that we were last year, we were monsters on the road last year, if I'm not mistaken.
We were.
So why are we kind of not being the protagonist in all the situations? Because we know that what we can do on the road and what we did last year. Like, you have proof of it. So why are we sitting back, kind of letting... In the second half, I've seen people say that we were the better side. But a good portion of that was us. I think when we won the ball back, it was lower back in our defending third than they had it. So they were winning the ball back higher, and we were winning the ball back lower in our defensive half.
Mm-hmm.
So we were getting pushed back farther than we were pushing them back. And it's just, like, go for it. Go play the game.
Yeah.
New saying.
There you go, yeah.
It's frustrating. I mean, I think one of the more frustrating things that we've had to contend with all this year is Luis Muriel not being able to find the back of the net. And I know you feel a certain type of way about this.
I feel a certain type of way about this because we were so quick to hate on Kara.
He was ass.
Yeah, but he also was scoring. Like, yeah, he wouldn't score every single game, but he was scoring goals for us. And now Luis Muriel's played, what, 7, 6?
Somewhere in
8.
that 6 to 9 range. I'd say.
So yeah, we're still under 10 games, my guy. Like it's
I
not
mean, I
like
get that, but it's just,
it is
I-
getting hard to defend.
But it's like Oscar feels like he has to play, and he's going to continue to play this guy.
Well, you'd be stupid not to play him realistically. Maybe not start.
Oh, yeah. I'm talking about starting. I feel like
No, I'd start
Oscar's-
Duncan. Yeah.
Yeah. I just feel like Oscar just wants to start Muriel, and that's going to end up hurting our team if he continues performing the way he does.
yeah, that's something that could be the case. You know, you feel a certain type of way because you've got a DP player with a price tag and all that, but it's like at the same time we saw him bench Ojeda for an entire year last year too. So
Mhm.
it's like he can't make up his mind
Yeah.
if that's the case. I mean, it was just overall not great from Muriel. He lost the most duels in the match at 12. He had a .34 xG on that
One chance. Yeah.
shank chance that we had. That was just awful.
Expect him to finish that every single day of the week.
You should be 37 touches, 4 in the opposition box with 1 big chance missed. 2 passes into the final third, only 2 successful dribbles, and he was offsides once.
Hmm.
So underwhelming, to say the least.
Just looking at their Maguire compared to Muriel's season stats currently, Maguire has 14 more minutes played total, so they're pretty much on the same amount of minutes. Same matches played. Duncan has 3 goals scored, Muriel 0. Duncan has 1.99 XG, Muriel 0.94. So Maguire is again overperforming his XG. Muriel is underperforming XG, and then Muriel has 4 shots on target. Duncan has 6. But other thing is shots per 90 goes to 2.45. Muriel 2.15 to Maguire. So he's ripping more shots per 90, less on target, less goals, less XG. So more shots, just less quality in those chances.
Mm-hmm.
So it's like you could say Duncan, he has really done more with less.
Yeah,
And at that point, that's why he would be starting for me right now.
he should have started on Saturday for me as well. I don't see, especially if this is the way that we wanted to play, because again, we saw the same problem we've seen in the past where we had that graphic that's going around from MLS stats and whatever. I can't remember the name, but everybody knows what I'm talking about. Maybe we'll link it in the description or something. Everybody's on top of each other. We see Angulo and Facundo and Ojeda and Muriel all trying to play in the same spaces.
Mm-hmm. You're allowing DC to get compact and defend easier. Yeah, spread it out.
Very narrow and all on top of each other. And it's something that you and I said when we were at the gym the other day. We were kind of talking about it. It's like this Muriel, Facundo, Ojeda, it could get very convoluted very
Mhm.
quickly.
It kind of did. I don't think it was as bad as
No.
we were expecting.
But it was definitely evident that there's 17 midfielders on the field all at once.
Yep.
One of them playing defender, one of them playing striker.
It's like they're trying to play a 3v3 side, but you're all attacking minded and none of you want to get back. And you all want to play up the middle. There's a whole nother talking point about Facundo this season. 3 shots on the season. 3 shots total, not just on goal.
Yep.
Not 3 shots last game. 3 shots on the season.
How many games in?
That was our 7th MLS match.
Wow. So he's averaging a shot every other game.
Just under that, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's poor as hell.
I don't know. I don't know what to think because we brought him in. Like, all right, this is a guy that we're going to build around. Quality player. We have seen struggles from him before, just not to this level. And to be at this point now with 3 shots on a season, is the lowest of lows for him thus far. And it's like Oscar has said, We're still trying to figure out how to get the best out of him. So it is on the management side to try to get the best out of him. They haven't figured it out yet. It's been
3 years.
3 years.
Yeah.
What are you meant to do?
So this is just shockingly sad. His per 90 stats, goals 0, and the bottom tier in his rank for his position. Expected goals 0.02. Expect 0.02. Expected assists 0.08.
So he doesn't even create.
Successful dribbles 0.48 per 90. Yeah, so at 28%.
So he's averaging less than half of a successful dribble per 90.
Yep.
Can't be having that.
Yeah, he's not finding joy in his football right now. That's for sure.
So then I ask a question to all three of you. If you were Oscar, are you benching him? Or are you sticking him out on the wing permanently? Are you sticking him at the 10 permanently? And then just hoping and seeing if something happens? Which one of the three options are we going with?
I'll let you two answer.
For me, he can sit on the bench and come off the bench for a little while until he finds his feet again. But I also think that Oscar needs to figure him out and how to best use him, because we can't be having a DP on the bench all year, or even for an extended amount of time.
Say he's a good player. We're just not seeing that right now. And if I'm Oscar, as much as I want him to succeed, taking a step back and benching him may be the best option right now. I mean, you don't want him to lose his confidence, but it may take a game or two. Let Ojeda play out right. Let Lodero back in the 10 spot. Let Facundo just relax for a little bit. 'Cause, I mean, Cannata said before, he's supposed to be the guy. He's not producing anything right now. We need something for it to click in his head, and just maybe this is the thing that he needs right now, just to take a step back.
It's the damn number 10 curse. Started off by Josue Coman.
So, for me, I'm not benching him just this second, because we just now got everybody back healthy, back from international duty. Like the group that we want to be our core 11, they're out there. Now, I'm not playing him at the 10. I don't think he's effective there. We really didn't see much from him any time in the past that he's played there. He didn't look super effective on Saturday either. Play him outright. Nico gets to play the 10. I said it to you guys before. Why Nico wouldn't be the guy that was there on Saturday is also kind of surprising to me, and why we felt that we needed to look for other people to play that spot, because we haven't let him play there all year. So for me, we let Facundo go for 2 more matches. Let's see how the team gels, since we got to give them time to do that for half the year. And if we're not seeing anything for another 2 matches with a positive increase, a positive production, and that being a goal contribution, then yeah, you gotta. There's other people ready waiting for your spot. Unfortunately, it's professional sports.
The gelling thing is fucking mind-blowing to me, because we've had the same fucking team pretty much for 2 years now. And how are we going to have 2 weeks off and we come back and we look worse positionally on the field?
Because we refuse to play the same 11 even when we have a full...
What are you doing?
Brother?
He's on his
Dude, this thing
WWE.
keeps fucking falling.
Yeah, I feel like Orlando City is the only team I've ever seen to have the reason of still needing to gel as an excuse for why we're not doing well. I don't see anyone in the NBA, in the NFL, in Major League Baseball, fucking hell, even abroad. Premier League, no one I see is having an excuse of gelling. I don't understand why that only applies to us.
That's because we have to allow it. because I said so. That's, you know exactly the group of people that we're referring to. Like, everybody's allowed to have their different opinions, but for me, it is completely asinine to allow professional athletes and professional coaches to slack and slip. And that's what we've seen for the first 10 games this season. So if I'm held accountable in my daily job, you're held accountable in yours and yours. When you're on this grand of a stage and you have more eyes watching you, then guess what? There's more eyes to hold you accountable. So, yeah, there's no excuse for gelling. You're a professional athlete making millions of dollars a year. Fucking do your job.
I refer it back over to the Premier League, as I always do. At the beginning of a season, let's just say a top 6 side. Last season in MLS, we were a quote-unquote top 6 side. We finished second in the league, so technically top 2 side. Should be a championship title contending team. If a Premier League team has a slow start, let's just say, not going to bring up our club because it's happened, and Liverpool, Man City. If Man City starts the season 1 draw, 1 loss, no wins in 2 games,
Everybody's like, hold
everybody's
the
kicking
fuck
off.
up.
It is Pep's head is probably being called for, and that is ridiculous. But it happens here, and it's like, no, time. If I see us finish second in the league, that makes me think, all right, we can go compete for a championship. Why do we then not hold the team to that standard? They've shown that they can do it, so why not keep pushing them forward to that? It is not that I hate the club. It's not that I don't want the club to not succeed. I would very much love to see that badge go and be put, I don't know if it's put on the MLS Cup, our team name put on the MLS Cup or whatever it is.
No, absolutely. See that trophy in the vaults.
Yes.
Like, all these things. Like, be there for the celebrations. Do the parade. Do the whole 9. Like, all of us have invested a lot of time into this club. We're not even going to pull the money card because everybody puts money into this. You spend money on tickets. You, like, look at all the shit I'm wearing right now. Like, it's
about $7,000, right?
yeah. It's just like the time, the years, the agony, like all that stuff. We want it to pay off, and when we see that we're taking that next step, like why would it be 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards? 2 steps forward, 1 step backwards. 2 steps, like, we don't need to be like, we
Just build
have
on
the
what
team. We have the fucking team.
Going into it, we were like Brekalo Janssen, possibly the best center back pairing in the league. And then we brought in Luis Muriel, and we brought in Nico Lodero. Nico Lodero was practically a like for like replacement with Mauricio Pereira. Muriel that was a whole situation with Duncan Maguire, but at the end of the day, we kind of upgraded in the January window. Kept Duncan, brought in Muriel, got Brekalo, got Lodero. Then the big losses were Antonio Carlos and Mauricio Pereira.
But yeah, like you said, in reality, we took a step forward in the offseason. We came out on the better end of it.
Which we would have thought would have killed off the starting the season really slow kind of thing.
Yeah, well, especially when you have 10 out of the 11 people that should theoretically be on the pitch, or 9 out of the 11 people are the exact same people that were on that top 2 run last year. So, yeah, there shouldn't be a whole lot of gelling, especially because of the fact that we had the shortest offseason in the history of the MLS, if I'm not mistaken.
Probably.
So, these guys literally took 2-3 weeks off, recharged, went home, spent time with family, and then it's right back to what we were doing. But why is it not right back to what we were doing?
Great question.
It has to be a mentality thing. Like, there's no reason why nothing has really changed, maybe tactically. Other than that, like you said, 2 personnel changes. There should not be that much of a drastic change.
Unlucky with Caesar going down injured, international break, so you do have to factor that in. But every
even
club is dealing with
before
this.
then.
Yeah,
the first couple games before
great.
Caesar got hurt, before the Wilder Red, we looked a step off. I don't know why that is. Like you said, on paper we upgraded. Nico for Mo, you can argue that's an upgrade. Brecalo for Antonio, younger, better legs. You could argue that's an upgrade.
It's an upgrade in my eyes, yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like even the first game of the season against Calvary, like the writing was kind of on the wall, because it's like, yeah, we won those games 3-0, 3-1, whatever it was. But let's be fucking real here. No disrespect to Calvary. And they play, you're in your own league over there. That should have been 6-7-0.
That first game, that was the first game of the season, if I'm not incorrect, going cross country in another country. That's a game where you could kind of expect that. You're just shaking the rust off. You're glad it's against an opponent such as Calvary. And then when you get away with a 3-0 result, you can't really be mad at it because you understand shaking the rust off. But then moving into, I think it was Montreal was after that. And that was a 0-0 home draw. And that was the only other game that we've seen, or the only game that we've seen Lodero start in the 10. And it was 0-0. First league game against a much tougher opponent than Calvary. Yeah, those are the kind of games where you shake the rust off, and then you're like, all right, we're in stride. We're going to go get 3 points every single match, and we're not going to start the way that we did last season. Instead, we found ourselves in the same spot.
Yeah, it's just a really unfortunate predicament. So, yeah, I mean, like you said, we've only seen Nico in the 10 one time this season.
Hard not to play one of your 3 DPs that can play as a 10 in that 10 spot.
But I'm
not arguing for it.
No, I know, but I feel like he can't play that 10 spot. Can he play that false 9,
Which
that
one?
second?
Facundo or Muriel?
Muriel.
Or Facundo.
Like, we've seen Muriel trying to be that 10 for us for a couple of weeks, and it's like, yeah, he could play the second striker. He could play the false 9, but he can't play the 10. You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It's just a whole bunch of nonsense for me at this point in time, and it kind of needs to get sorted out right now.
And then we got the actual number 10, Lodero, playing
8.
at the 8.
Then we have
and/or bench
the
warmer.
Swiss Army knife, right back, left back, Kyle Smith playing the 6.
6. It's been a
And
whole
the-
bunch of nonsense.
And the centerman we brought in playing right back.
Correct.
So yeah, when I said it on Saturday's live, I'm back in the boat of we need to move on from this manager at some point in time. Just because of the accumulation of past years and not being able to see this year start off the way that it needs to be. It's unfortunate, but I feel like for us to take that next step, we have to find somebody that will make that step.
And I feel like we always go back to this team at some point. We had that 18, or maybe not 18, but the back half of last year, we had that stretch where we looked great and we looked like this team that could go out and win the cup. But then we get into the playoffs and we go right back to who we know Oscar is, and being pessimistic and not pragmatic.
Pragmatic.
Yes.
Pragmatic.
Pragmatic.
But yeah, so the Avengers are reassembling. If you didn't hear,
I was actually just watching Endgame last night.
Fair play.
Yeah. Wait, what?
I said the Avengers are reassembling.
Yeah.
Do,
What's up, brother?
do.
All right. Do we actually want to get into the game? Break it down a little bit. Goals.
Sure.
What kind of ADHD?
Yeah, let's go ahead and break it down a little bit.
All right. 4th minute. Fifth minute. Corner. Goalkeeping specialist. Break it down for us.
There is no need for Pedro to go out that far. Like, you have, I don't even know who's out there, but there's at least 2 or 3 bodies. Trust your defenders.
Well,
Pedro decides to charge out for it.
it's just Caesar marking fucking Benteke.
Well, that's the other problem with this whole set piece thing is that Caesar should not be marking their strongest and most deadly threat from the set piece.
Yeah, but also from that far out, he's not getting enough oomph on it to put it past Pedro.
Oh, yeah, agreed.
Nah, yeah, he should never be coming out.
Exactly, but exactly. So he doesn't have to come out. Just stay back. That header, realistically, if he stays on his line, he's catching. We're going on a counter. Like, there's no two ways around it. That, yes, we have Caesar marking Benteke, but that is a goalkeeping error right there.
Absolutely.
And there's no foul. He just runs into him.
I was going to say, and then he
No.
realizes his mistake, feels a bump, and then goes down hoping for a foul because he realizes he was in fucking no man's land.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. This isn't me, like, shitting on Pedro. Like, I love him. I will defend him to anything. Should have won Keeper of the Year last year. But he's had a poor start to this season.
Poor is an understatement.
I'm keeping it. He's had a poor start.
In no way is that a foul on Pedro. I think before the recording, you said he ran into one of our players. I'm pretty sure. I thought it was a DC player.
It looked like a DC player, but still.
But in no way is it a foul. The DC player had no intention to make contact with Pedro, wasn't even looking at Pedro, didn't trip him up. Pedro ran straight into the DC player and then went down looking for the foul, or he just went down because he made contact with another player. It is on him. There's no defending it, really. He made a mistake. We move on. But the fact that there are people that are trying to defend it say it was a foul.
No.
Your ball knowledge
That's
is
coming
showing.
from a keeper.
Yeah,
No.
It's never a foul. And we said it on the live. It's never a foul. Well, what are we doing? Is the moral of that story.
Yeah, like, I'm all for him being aggressive, going out to collect crosses, but once you see it's a certain distance away, just let it go. Just let it go.
Yeah, command your area, not everybody's area, my friend.
Shift across the goal a little bit, let your defenders do your thing. It was literally the slowest looping header far post.
Mm-hmm.
Shuffle over 2 steps, put your hands up, catch it. Muriel's out there somewhere, gonna miss an open goal.
I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure Robbie Johnson was near post too, and he wasn't really looking at the fuckery.
Yeah.
And so he saw the ball, and he looked back hoping to see fucking Galese there.
Yep.
And in his face during the replay, you can just see him. He's just like, where the fuck is my keeper?
Yep.
Because usually if he knows Galese's not there, he's trying to get it out because it's not a
bicycle
fucking,
scorpion it
yeah,
out.
it's not a powerful header at all. So
Not 13. I can't do math. 23 minutes later, we level it 1-1. Dagger Dan header back post. Angulo received the ball on the left flank. Just
Heavy touch
No.
sprint.
he took
No.
what?
Angulo did not receive the ball. That was Ivan.
Ivan received the ball. Just took his man on, beat him with the incredible pace that he has, which crazy thought to do that, right? Use your pace to your advantage.
Played fucking direct.
Yeah. Took it to the byline. I think he might have actually gotten fouled there. If it didn't come across, might have been a pen. Food for thought. And then great ball across. Dagger in there, back post to finish it. That is, tactically, that is fantastic. Your right wing back that also gets up is making that run across. Whoever the right wing was one of them was probably in the middle somewhere. So Dagger Dan realizing that space, moving into it. Angulo finds him, header near post, golazo.
It's literally, when he plays like that, he's top 25 in the league.
I thought you were going to say the world, and I was about to walk off set. I'm glad.
But when he plays like he wants to and do the little Martinelli and hold up the ball. And
No one wants to do the Martinelli.
But he does it every time. The little chops and the pull the ball back.
feints,
And
everything.
it's Anthony Martinelli, Angulo.
Me, frustration, watching them both play.
Yes. Any other thoughts? Goal. 1-1.
I mean, you just hope Ivan learns from that and realizes what the fuck he's actually good at and starts doing that more.
Mm-hmm.
And hopefully we can get another guy on the right side of the wing that's actually fucking there. So maybe there's 2 people in the box over there next time.
Yeah.
Not just fucking half of one.
Well, no, but I honestly, if there would have been 2 people in the box, then we would have tried to chest the ball down and lay it off to somebody else.
Fair.
And so
Recycled it all
the,
around to
the,
lose
the
it.
fact that nobody was there and Dan had to take the opportunity, I think is also what makes the difference there.
The other tactical side to that is maybe the right wing was tucked in to drag a defender out of space, and that is where Dan realized that space was. So if that is what happened, I would have to go back and watch again to see where said right winger was. It was Facundo?
No, Ojeda.
Ojeda was that then? Yeah,
They
Ojeda
were-
was out on the right, correct.
They were
They were holding hands running through the middle of the pitch. No, which is the realistic option. But if it didn't happen,
Murray was
Correctly.
in the middle of them.
Yeah, I was gonna say Mario was on the other side. They were playing Ring Around the Rosie right at the top of the 18.
Dan's like, what? What is this? Just running.
Daggers.
And then there was a span of 3 plus 4, 7 minutes, where DC just went on a yellow card. Shut up, I can do math.
3, 4, 5, 6, 7.
You had to take his shoes off for that one.
Fuck. Couldn't even
Ew.
get it off. There was a span of 7 minutes where DC got 4 yellow cards, and that forced them to make subs. Stinky. That was a 7-minute portion of the game where they just were getting yellows for fun.
Guido was on something. That's for sure. He was definitely a little harsher in the first half than the second. I believe. It was his name, Guido.
It was Guido Gonzalez.
Pete
Fair enough. Fair enough to Guido.
Pete stop.
He was just walking around the pitch. Pete stop. Pete stop.
In the 42nd minute, Wheeler did also pick up a yellow card. So 7 minutes, 5 yellow cards for Guido.
The new all-time
Yeah,
record.
his yellow card average skyrocketed after this game. Halftime, we see DC make 2 subs, bring in Pirani on, who eventually scores. Click gets carded with a yellow 49th minute. Dagger Dan and Brekalo both get yellows in the 55th.
Oh yeah.
Just beat stops all over the place. And then, as I mentioned a couple seconds ago, Pirani scores. This is just a ball into the box. Benteke ends up with the assist. I guess he got the last touch before it fell to Pirani. And then all he had to do was make contact and put it on frame, and it's going in.
It's poor defending again.
It's poor defending, good positioning on their behalf. Guy in the right space. Good ball in the box as well. You know, you find your target man twice. You're doing what you want to do. Unfortunate that it's affects Pedro's rating even more, because on FootMop he finished with a 5.8 because, you know, he had the error and he conceded a second. So
And he had a
Finished with
sketchy.
a 5-6.
5.6. Sorry.
Another sketchy.
Sketch?
No, another sketchy moment towards the end of the game too.
Tomorrow, this podcast comes out on a Tuesday. 55th minute, yeah. Thorhalson, Brekalo, we got yellow cards, and the Pirani goal happens. 6 minutes after the goal, Duncan on, Nico Lodero on, Rafael Santos on, Ojeda off, Cartagena off, and Kyle Smith off.
Wow.
So at this point, we're down 2-1. We very much have to go for the win, and we end up doing that. Could have kind of put the pressure on a little bit earlier, but, you know, here we are, 72nd and 73rd minute subs. And then 9 and 10 minutes later, David Brekalo scores his first goal for Orlando City.
Beautiful header.
Assist, Facundo Torres.
What?
No.
Off of
No, it was Ladero.
Well, Footmom has it listed as Facundo Torres.
Yeah, that's
It's Ladero.
I'll shut up then.
Nico Lodero with 2 assists.
Oh,
and
that's
then
right.
Angulo with the other.
Saw this, yeah. Because on the lineup, did they take it away? No, on the lineup, Lodero has 2 assists, and Facundo doesn't have an assist in
Yeah.
the lineups. But in
No,
the
yeah, it sucks.
yeah,
Broken foot mob again, but it's all good. Yeah, I mean, Nico come on almost instant impact
mm-hmm.
with the assist on the set piece. And yeah, Brekalo, I mean, scoring before Muriel, who would have thought?
Absolutely no one.
I mean, we did know that he could become that man in this team on set pieces.
Mhm.
So that is good to see because we've
also-
been missing that
Yep.
ever since
Antonio.
Antonio Carlos back in like 2021 maybe
Mm-hmm.
when he still had legs on him.
Yeah, when he didn't end up hurt for half the season and then come back and then not play, and then Schlegel went on an 8-game run and then sold in the playoffs.
It's also nice to see us not. It's nice to see us whip a ball in the box for once, off a corner.
Yeah, not a
just
short
fucking
corner.
play it short.
It would have
and-
been if Facundo was there
Well,
delivering it.
Yeah.
I was gonna say either a short corner or a ball that doesn't make it past the first defender.
Yeah, I mean, Nico may be our savior for insanity this year just by whipping a ball in the box.
Nico may be our savior for anything at this point, just because he's the only one that will shoot a ball from outside the box on target, will assist, will.
Luis will. Muriel.
I said on target.
I retract my
Keyword
statement.
there.
Keywords.
Phrasing is important. Yeah, Nico may just be our savior, and he needs to fucking start.
At the 10,
Yes.
not at the fucking 8.
Hey, left back. Sorry, my bad. That's
Stick him in goal.
at this point.
Shortstop.
Heat stop.
He's more of a second baseman, to be honest with you.
87th minute, we see Felipe come on for Luis Muriel. So that leaves
Yes,
Duncan
sir.
up top as a lone striker. But before we can get to that, 88th minute rolls around. We got another beat stop by Guido. Christian Benteke gets a yellow. So I think we're at 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Wait, 10? 5, 6, 7. I can't count. 5, 6,
No, you
7,
can't.
8. 9. We are at 9 total yellow cards this match. That means average is high.
9 Pete stops.
3 minutes later, was he offsides? No. Was he onside?
No.
Maybe.
Yes.
We see Duncan McGuire through. Lodero has eyes and he can hit a ball,
Mm-hmm.
so he did that. Duncan runs onto it. He's there. Keeper's in no man's land. 2 center backs for napping. And then I'm confident in Duncan's finishing. And he did just that, prove me right. And we are up 3-2 in the 91st minute.
11 minutes added time.
I'll-
I don't know how it got there.
I'll say I didn't get to watch the whole game, but how did we end up with that?
all the Pete stops.
That's true. That's fair. What was it? All 15 in total.
I was going to say, looking back on it, we did have 97 yellow cards that game. So
There's still 5 in the first half, 4 in the second half. So, someone go down hurt. Janssen was down hurt for a little bit, I believe.
yeah.
But 11.
No. Me no say.
If I speak, I'm in big trouble.
I mean, later on we see Pedro make 2 saves. We'll leave it at saves. Necessary saves, but kept
Saves
us.
you expect to be
Yep.
made.
Good saves. Nothing outrageous.
And to
Does
be,
well.
To be hopeful, saves that may help him
Build confidence.
build confidence and start performing better.
So that's something that was brought up in our Discord. Is it time?
Before we move to that, we 92nd minute, right?
Yep.
92nd minute. Rodrigo Schlegel comes on.
No.
Yeah.
No.
Got a little scared there. I can't lie.
Yeah. Definitely gets a little nerve wracking anytime you see him touch the pitch, but that was
That was ear.
yeah. It gets nerve wracking when you see him come on the pitch, period. End of story. So glad that we saw it, the result.
We didn't concede.
Yes.
Thank God.
We apologize for your ears. Now we move to the Discord.
Somebody brought up, is it time to start seeing Mason Staguar come into the 11? Thoughts?
I
I'd
say
say-
no.
You stole the literal words out of my mouth.
Great.
Why do you say no?
Yes, Pedro has had a run of bad games, but I still think there's brilliance to be seen. I mean, he's coming off a season where, in my opinion, he was one of the best goalkeepers in the league. He's just had a bad run of games.
Yeah. Is it a bad run of the games, or is it the start of a decline? Because every player has it, and he is definitely up there in age and played a lot of football.
Give it 2 to 3 more consistent mistakes, or I guess you could consider them mistakes. Not great performances, saves that he should make that end up not being made, or even the one shot that he had at him where he could have just killed it, but then he parried it out for a corner.
Yeah. We're just seeing too much of that this year. It's not just the saves.
Again, the crazy saves that he has made in the past, maybe Mason doesn't have those in his locker as much, and you could need those in crunch time. So is the gap right now that, like, is it closer than last season? Yes. Is it close enough to bring Pedro out of goal yet? We're getting there, but it's not there yet.
I'm still confident in Mason. That doesn't not change anything about him.
Yep.
But the game that he did play this year, it was a lot different from what we've seen Pedro having to make saves, having to do a lot of stuff, where I don't think we've seen Mason.
Is that Austin?
I have no idea.
Yeah, I think so.
Because it was the home game where nothing happened that he had to do. Yeah, it was comfortable, easy.
Yeah, no, absolutely. But that's the thing is we haven't seen him have to make those crazy saves.
Yeah, no, that's what I'm saying. That's why I'm a little skeptical at first about just throwing him in the deep end. He's been here a few years, but that's a decent step going from backup keeper to everyday in and out starter.
Yeah. I just personally think he's ready to make that step, and if there's a time to do it, it's now when things aren't so great to begin with.
But the thing is, if you throw him in the deep end and things aren't great, his confidence goes down, and then we're starting from scratch, which is something I don't want to happen.
Yeah, I mean, that's fair. I just don't think he's conceding that first goal, you know what I mean? And we don't concede that first goal, it's a much different game from that point on, you know?
Mm-hmm.
So, me personally, I would tend to lean towards, let's start looking at giving him some more minutes and giving him opportunities to prove himself more.
Let him play the Leagues Cup. If we truly don't care.
I was going to say, I want him to start
months
not
out.
MLS, but there's still tournaments that he can play.
What tournament is that?
The one that no one cares about.
Oh,
the one that he can still get minutes in.
Yeah, I mean, it's just still months out, you know what I mean? I'm looking at
shit gets tough real quick in May.
Philly, Fort Lauderdale,
Cincinnati, Philly, fucking Pompano, San Jose, Columbus in May.
Okay, San Jose.
Well, yeah, but
that's still tough.
So,
from my perspective, I see us. We're still giving Pedro time, so that Leagues Cup time comes around. We see what he can do. If he doesn't really concede, or the only goals he concedes are ones it's like keeper can't do anything about it, then maybe let's give him a shot, continue starting. That's what we saw when Rob Sanchez got hurt, and then Petrovic came in, and he staked his claim. So there kind of has to be a full-on reason for a keeper to come in. Is Pedro 100% claiming his spot currently? No. But for me, I don't think it's down at that point to where you have to bring someone else in.
let them compete. Let them compete with each other. That's the way I feel.
If Mason can prove himself, go for it. You just got to be confident enough and know that it's the right time to make that change.
Mm-hmm. You guys got anything else you want to talk about this game?
Let's go to the bar.
Sure. By bar, you mean bed.
Bar in bed.
A win's a win.
A win is a win. A goal is a goal.
Yeah.
Bed and breakfast or bar and bed?
Yeah, I mean,
Bar and bed.
we were kind of talking about it like 3 points is 3 points, and we needed it. So the way to nullify a lot of these concerns is to go out and win next week and the week after that and the week after that. But if we see us regress next week, then, we'll see what truly is going on. We're all hoping for the best. Hopefully this is the turnaround, and us just getting loud is what is needed to take place for Oscar to light a fire under this team's ass and his own. So maybe we'll just start doing it from week 1 here on out and see if it makes a difference.
We'll see. We'll see about that.
We hope you enjoyed what you heard here today. If you did, make sure you leave a like, hit that subscribe button, and turn on the notification bell. We will not have fan reacts out, or not out, but recorded until the end of the month. So until then, you just got to deal with productive waffle.
Productive waffle. Well, there was another word too that we came up with.
When?
When one of the times I think it was in the gym actually.
Yeah. Anyway, make sure that you check all our social links in the description. Follow us on all of those. You can see all kinds of content that we do through there. And shout out to today's episode sponsor, BetOnline. You can get your 50% welcome bonus by using the code BELIEVE. That's BLEAV, not the other way.
Not the correct way to spell it, the incorrect way to spell it.
Shout out eCurb.
Was it specialized waffle? Or is that just, I feel like that's wrong.
Probably wrong. I don't remember that.
Fantastic.
Shout out eCurb. We'll see you on the next one.